Train. I heard about the word peacemaker. There was some, I'm seeing some timelines where there's nurses. This looks like this is going further up. This feels dense and like dark stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can feel it was like a dark time. You can feel the heaviness of the suppression that they had.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the nurses. Mostly women were the nurses. There were some men as doctors. The women were the nurses. She's saying something that their needles weren't sanitary. They're not clean. There wasn't clean needles. They would use the same needles on people.
Mm.
Ew. Like, what? She showed me this long nigga, like, needle, like, she showed me a coin too. The first coin, needle, just like stuff coming out of the needle. Draining, yeah. Looks nasty.
Mm.
Um, they weren't clean with the stuff. They didn't sterilize things. They didn't wipe things down. They didn't clean things out. They didn't clean nurses. It was like a really heavy timeline. I feel like you feel a lot of stuff in that timeline.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just restrained. I feel like someone with measles. She's saying someone with measles. Someone sick with measles and a high fever.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. And she says little boys and kids would get sick all the time. Little boys and little girls get sick more than the adults. Kids would die early.
Mm.
She's saying because kids were the easiest to get sick. And adults, someone with some kind of cough, she says pertussis.
Mm-hmm.
Or tuberculosis is what she's telling me.
Mm.
She's telling stuff about the, the Black Plague, stuff that I don't even remember in history. I don't even remember this stuff. Like, oh my gosh. This the kids would get. She says pox. She called them pox.
Chicken
They get
pox.
these like some dots on their head, and I can feel his skin, the kid's skin, his fever, and people didn't wear gloves, so then they would get sick. Like the nurses. Ew.
Mm-hmm.
I'm touching the kid, and they didn't have no rails on the hospital bed. It's like an old hospital bed, and it's like very old age, and everything just looks not clean, not sanitary. They didn't really wash their hands. Oh, um, the little boy's skin feels bumpy. You feel his skin and his hair. His fever is really hot. I have like she loved to do nursing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, I see her crying about something, but I don't know what it's about. Mm, there was a lot of orders going around. Just very strict, restricted. You can feel the intensity in this time. It just feels so cold. Everybody feels so cold and isolated.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's just a lot of people being rude and mean, especially to poverty people in this time. And she's talking about welfare, how it was created, some different things. So they didn't have that back then. They didn't have that. They had it in a further time going more up. The first bit of it was in America, but it wasn't really much. And then poverty people were more had to take on jobs, uh, more serving the rich. Some were cooks. But I'm more going back to a hospital. I'm going back to a hospital.
Is she showing you this because they had to work for like children that were sick? Or what was she saying?
She's showing me labor, the hard labor that they made. Some people only made 12 cents an hour. It's not a lot of money.
Mm-mm.
They didn't make a lot. A lot of people didn't make a lot of money. She's showing me stuff with coal. Now they're showing me things with coal. It's old stuff.
Like coal mining?
Yeah. It just doesn't feel right in this timeline. You could tell everybody was off. Nobody, you could see nobody really knew what to expect. It was living a lot of fear in this time. So, like, a lot of fear.
Chaotic energy?
Mm-hmm. just fear, isolating energies, just separation, a lot of separation, wars, government stuff, just how this government stuff spread it to here and how we still have restrictions. Just a really cold time. There's more killings, and they got rid of babies that were deformed too. If kids had a deformity, they would kill them. It's really nasty,
Mm.
really cold. Especially with the jury and the government stuff.
Mhm.
It's very corrupting. A lot of men wanted more power over women. Men wanted the power. They viewed women as weak. A lot of women had suffrage. They talk about the suffrage, the women's suffrage. Um, just a lot of suffering women went through. Mm, just the suffering people went through, torture. Um, they starved people to death. They starved people to death with no food, no water. I'm seeing they starve people to death
Mm.
until they died. This one man is in a cell and he's starved to death, begging for food. And they starve people to death.
Were they homeless?
No, they captured people that they thought did something wrong and they starved them to death.
Mm.
Like if someone done something different, they didn't do what they want or whatever. Just putting them in. If they were accused of something too, a lot of people were accused of stuff they didn't do, and they would starve to death. And a lot of people just starve to the bone. Skinny men. Just starving people to death. Um, a lot of people would get smelly in their cells. Um, Prison was the worst. Oh my gosh. Um,
Are you seeing a jail or a prison?
I'm seeing like a prison. I don't even know what they would even call this. Um, just they call it a dungeon. They call it a dungeon. And it starves people to death. It's a lot of control, manipulation, electric chairs. I'm seeing some electric chairs too. Mm. They publicly humiliate people. They put them on a stage and stone them to death as well. There's hanging people in front of public, making them publicly embarrass and humiliate themselves. A lot of ill will, just really dense. They would whip people in public, torture people. I'm seeing stuff with um, um, very dark stuff.
The people that you're seeing that they're like in the dungeon or that they're starving to death, are these their own people? Are these Caucasians?
Yes. I'm seeing some stuff with Spain now. Um, it was very, a lot of people, it feels like the feeling of being on the edge of your seat all the time. It doesn't feel like nobody really enjoyed anything.
Mm-hmm.
People were too afraid to stand up to this government, this corruption, afraid to be heard, afraid to speak the truth, afraid to know the truth, afraid to do something about it. A lot of people, they did this stuff in public so they could have more control and show people, do you see what we've done to them, we will do it to you all. It's just kind of like that feeling. The, um, the public humiliation, the scorning, ridicule.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just a lot of people, when they did this in public, they installed a lot of fear in people. A lot of people went with it, too afraid to stand up against it, do something about it, afraid to make the change, afraid to be a change. Nobody wanted to take them face on because a lot of they just really corrupted a lot of people's minds. A lot of people went with it because of fear. A lot of people didn't do nothing about it and was silenced because of fear. Some people were forced to stay silent. Nobody spoke the truth because of the fear they put into people. And just a lot of dark stuff they would do. They loved having people's lives in their hands
Mm.
to watch people suffering. It was a it was like a game to them.
To the controllers?
Yeah, it was like a game. They loved to watch people starving. It was more, you could basically call them sick in the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and a lot of those that were controlling were being controlled by something else,
Mm-hmm.
and people were cruel, cold-hearted, cut off from the feelings, the emotions.
From source?
Yeah, cut off from the emotions, cut off from feeling anything. Some of them didn't really want to feel anything. They don't want to feel, more like an apathy kind of thing. And I'm seeing a man eating in front of the man that's hungry, that's starving to death. He's begging him to for the apple. And he's begging him to give him some food and some water, and he's drinking and eating in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
He's very, I guess you could say, malevolent.
Mm-hmm.
He's just cut off from their feelings. They believe in being in the head and more in their minds, and that intelligence was more important than being a kind person, just being more in the head, being in the heart, being in touch with the feelings and the emotions. Men really had the stone walls. We had the stone walls, and they were really in their heads a lot more of a logic, kind of intelligent reasoning, facts versus fiction, kind of. You know, they really wanted people to. It's showing me like they wanted to control how they wanted to mind control everybody else to get everybody like them, kind of to program everybody to be like them. It's corrupted. He's eating. He feels like he's enjoying eating this apple in front of this hungry person. They love to give people scraps, like this apple is bit all the way up to the core, like to the edge, but he throws it for the homeless person to eat or just starving person to eat. They will make them drink contaminated water, like possibly even some of the people that were starving to death drunk water out of their own, like toilet water, and get sick. They love having things in their hands. It feels like he has a small heart, not a big heart. Torturing people, inmates, prisoners. doing stuff in public, labeling people, judging people, lying on people. Um, they would put what they done to someone onto that person so they could look innocent and so they could feel.
So they would blame their crimes on the ones they committed the crime on? Is that what she said?
So some people would blame there's their things on other people, like falsely accused on others. If the person that actually done it got away with it, innocent people got killed.
Mm-hmm.
Innocent people got killed. Some people that actually did it got in prison, starved. There's a dungeon, what do you call it? A lot of women just was into dressing nice, looking nice for the man, trying to please a man instead of themselves. Worry about their titles, how much money they had, how much they would have if they married this man, not really caring if this man was corrupted, as long as he had the cash or the money. That's all they were concerned. Though some women were forced to marry rich men or middle class, picked out. Um, this is mostly the men. Women we saw as weak. Just stuff with the government is coming up, and stuff with politics. Just stuff with politics and government. Gives me a knot in my stomach talking about government.
Mm-hmm.
And politics. It gives me a knot in my stomach. Okay.
Yes.
The sick feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the government has done a lot to us since the beginning of time. Politics. It was really to control us. Government was meant to control us, control how everything was. It was giving people a lot of false hopes, especially with immigrants coming here and forcing them to build things for them, showing people it was a land of the free and that they would feel more free or something like that.
Mm.
Um, they basically lied to a lot of people about what they would get if they came to land, especially immigrants. The government did a lot of sick stuff, corrupted stuff, hateful stuff. Just people didn't feel really much freedom. A lot of men were taken to do the war stuff. Women were with the children. They had a lot of women supposed to do this and men supposed to do that. Men are supposed to work, women are supposed to stay at home, cook, clean, take care of the kids. Instead of men being a part of the kid's life.
This was told to them by the government.
A lot of inequality. Yeah. Started with governments, politics. Governments wanted to rule and we were corrupted. They love to take land from people, take things from people, especially freedom. A lot of freedom was taken away. A lot of government and political stuff just use a lot of um, labeling to discriminate people, label people, women especially got labeled. Just a lot of labeling started from there. The court systems, all these systems and organizations, rulers, leaders, because a lot of genocide, a lot of they love to label people. They love to put words in other people's mouths. Especially a lot of people that had the position of power abused all of their power. Judges, jury, there's a testimony, just lying on people. They were corrupted so they could fit in. They created this society. They had a lot of plotting. They plotted a lot of attacks. They planned to take things from others. I heard of a revolution. They had whiskey. I'm saying whiskey. They love to drink. They did a lot of drinking. drinking all the time. It was normal to them. I can taste the whiskey.
Mm.
It tastes bitter, nasty, and I don't drink.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's people, men sitting at a table drinking whiskey, and they're sitting on these barrels for chairs.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen that before. And the barrels is coming out wine, whiskey. It tastes this nasty taste.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. A lot of people overindulged in drinking a lot. Just a man, they drunk a lot. You say they almost drink every night. Their teeth are wooden. I've never seen this before.
Mm.
Wooden teeth, silver teeth, eye patches, rings, and his teeth look. No, he has cavities. Mm, I can nearly like smell his breath.
Mm.
Oh my god, I didn't get into details this time. But it's trying to, you know, I guess they didn't have proper hygiene then, but he has a wooden teeth. I never seen teeth with
Mm.
wood in it before. Some of his teeth were really tiny. He's drinking a lot of beer, and he's got like a handkerchief. He's got some people have wooden legs,
Mm-hmm.
arms. They got like this kind of thing that you walk with. It's like a wooden kind of thing that you just walk with.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you can call it a cane, a wooden cane. And he's got like a boot. His teeth is wooden, rotten, really black teeth, kind of. Mm-mm. I don't like. Let's say like when his teeth is kind of decaying really bad. A lot of people die because of their teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Health problems. Mm, feels like a dense vibration. I guess you would say when the people drunk, their vibration just lowered.
Mm-hmm.
We had this really kind of make me sick to my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just drinking kind of just really dents them out, and just almost anything could have been inside of them.
Yes.
Mm, it just drinking whiskey out of this jar container. Like a lot of drinking, just saying gambling too. It's a different kind of hats were huge. They had these weird shaped hats. When they drunk, it feels like they just dense, like they just dense. It just feels dense, and they feel grummy and gross.
Mm-hmm.
It just gives me this heavy feeling. Um, they would bet on who could drink more.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are drunk until they just slump, like just slummy.
Passed out.
And, like, you could see them like walking, but kind of staggering. Like, I don't know. Thinking about it just makes me just sick.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could taste the whiskey, and it tastes really. Mm. Hearing a lot of men cheated back then.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of. Mm, ew, I'm seeing something on the table with him. I don't know. When he drank all of that, he let something inside him.
Mm-hmm. You could see the entity.
Yeah,
Was it in his whiskey or next to it?
he was waiting to get inside. Ew.
Mm-hmm.
It was nasty. He just drunk
Mm-hmm.
until they slump over. Some of them would pass out, black
Mm-hmm.
out. Don't remember where they got up. Headaches.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them would drink a little too much. Just a lot of men. Mm-mm. Just believe that a woman needed a man for strength, for protection, to be taken care of. Women didn't know how to be independent. They depended on a man. There's like a lot of codependency,
Mm-hmm.
just codependency. Everybody just needed something. They just live in their root chakras all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Survive for all the time for people, women included. Especially if the husband died. I don't even think they were the ones that got the inheritance.
Mm.
Someone, I think the kid or someone, or the brother did.
The brother?
The brother of the man that died get the inheritance instead of the wife. She
Mm.
didn't inherit anything. She just get nothing. A lot of people remarried to get another rich man. Just to remarry to get another rich guy. Just a lot of codependency. Women supposed to take care of kids, cook, clean. They had a lot of suffering. Women didn't have any say. It feels like what it feels like to be a woman is just like you're being controlled by the men and the government.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like you've been controlled by the marriage. Just a lot of disrespect to women. I didn't really know. They just really looked at them for their beauty. They didn't have to just judge which woman they would marry based on their look, their family, money.
Mm.
They, even rape women. Most women had been just told that they need to be quiet and listen to the man. That the man was more important than they were. That the man was more important than the woman was.
Mhm.
And women was inferior to man in society. They were never thought like never it's, it's they never had someone express gratitude for them having the child. It was just settle down, have kids, that's it. It was just never love. It was kind of some shallow, just shallow stuff.
Mhm.
Looking at, it's kind of like similar to today's stuff.
Mhm.
How the stuff is equivalent to stuff today. How that stuff affected what today is. But it feels like it's changing here. It's changing. Something is evolving. It's talking about the evolution of a woman, how women are getting more independent and stronger without men, and how men need us more than we think we need a man. And how we should, how some women today still let men control them. Like some women today dress for men instead of themselves.
Mhm.
So similar things from the past that is still we have to evolve from for our ascension as women. We must be empowered more, speaking up, not tolerating treatments that men give us, not tolerating abuse. It's like the silence when women get raped, they don't speak about it.
Mhm.
A lot of women don't speak about, I feel like I'm gonna cry. A lot of women don't speak about things that men do to them. They're afraid. They think they have more power. They think men are more stronger than them.
Mhm.
Kind of how past has caused some of the things here, and we're evolving from it. It feels like we're evolving and expanding and growing and learning from our past,
Mhm.
and just to know that we have this ability to have more and that we deserve more. We deserve equality. We deserve to be treated respectfully. And some just a lot. women today have insecurity because of labels, judgments, how we're just evolving past trying to fit in with one another. We're just evolving past the past. It's like an acceleration, a push.
Mm-hmm.
The women are going into this rebirth. And it's like women are catching on quickly in today's world. Women are getting smarter, wiser, and finding the strength in our inner intelligence, our higher intelligence. There's still a lot of more ascension to go through, especially with the men, but what's really happening is women. Women are the one that is evolving, growing, because we need it. We need to see what's inside of us.
Mm-hmm.
That we are more than what meets the eye. That we're not just some eye candy. But it's what's inside that matters.
Mm-hmm.
And our inner growth is getting better. Than women in the past. They were a lot of constriction and enticement. It just feels like almost a man has a hand around my throat, and it's like, that's what this feels like in the past versus what's now. It feels like an acceleration. We're moving past it. It feels like we're getting past it, and we're getting in touch with our inner strength, learning how strong we are, learning from our past, learning from our ancestors, learning things. I feel like we're becoming equipped with something. Like I'm being equipped. Women have to get more in tune with their sensitivities.
Mm-hmm.
Get more in tune with their emotions, their own feelings. Get more in tune with what's their emotions and what's not their emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some family stuff versus what they're truly feeling, getting in tune with their own emotions.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of women are bottling things up inside. A lot of women are keeping things inside of them, being silent. Some women are speaking up more. I feel like they just show me the progress from today, from past to today.
Yes.
It's like a progress, like a lot of progress we made. It's like at first somebody might have in their mind like, well, how much is growing? They don't see the progress, the speed we have taken off from. But I feel like it's much more, like we're much more movement around us than ever before. It feels more free. Like we have a choice. We have. It's almost like we need to know we have a choice, and like we're free to make choices. We're free to make decisions. and that we are capable of making decisions for ourselves without needing people's approval of them, what people would think. And it's like growth, a lot of growth than past. There's still more growth to go with the whole world. I feel like something is gonna take, feels like something can take place here, like some hope. And it feels like the light is taking over. It feels like the light is taking over. The dark has no, it's showing me a globe and the light just taking over.
Beautiful.
Yes, it's very little bits of dark left. Like the light is just taking over. That's all I see.
Beautiful, sister. Beautiful.
It feels good. Like the light is covering most of the globe. And it's, huh?
So beautiful. That's wonderful.
It is. And it feels like we're more free now, but we still got much more. We have the government to stand up to. We need to stand up to the government. We never needed rulers. We had things that were organizing us. It's something about this system that they're trying to get my attention about. Like the government, the leaders. I guess this is just to show us that we have the impact to be a leader, to impact the world, to impact. It takes one person to lead and many people to follow and people to learn to lead themselves. And leaders teach others to be leaders instead of leaders wanting like this praise, this hero kind of. But on the end, when these governments are turning around, they are doing other things to us. They're saying things about GMOs, and I'm not even sure what GMOs are.
Genetically modified organisms. We're talking about food and crops.
Yeah, they're saying stuff about GMO. Possibly them. They want us to grow our plants naturally, grow our fruits on our own vegetables. They want us to grow our own fruits and vegetables. They're saying they're genetically modifying fish, meats. They're putting kind of stuff in the meats. Just making foods, your own garden is important. Even if it's a small one, just making our own garden. It's fresh vegetables. You won't have to worry about what's going in your food. And about people learning to lead on their own, teaching people how to find the leader inside. Leaders are becoming wise leaders and teaching people to find their own inner leader and to guide themselves, to march at their own drum and stop taking the same patterns to path as everybody else. Everybody is marching to somebody else's drum. either it's a family member, someone, just the society and all. You just have to march at your own beat fearlessly, and it feels like it has to be fearlessly done, like your own unique self-expression. The more people express themselves, the more unafraid people are to see like the other people coming out of the box. Like
Yes.
they see like they looking out of peepholes at people that just express themselves, their own unique vibration, their own unique essence, and other people start doing it. A lot of people see people express, and more people will start expressing themselves, being fearlessly expressive, expressing their truth freely, being more authentic is where we're getting. It feels like where they're trying to get us to be more true to ourselves, no matter where we are, fearlessly leading and teaching others to lead themselves. A lot of leaders wanted power back then. They're like comparing it. A lot of leaders want the power back then to have praise, to be saw as powerful in a fearless way. Fear was their praise, to see people in fear was a praise to them. They saw that as a praise when people were in fear. They saw it as a like a it's just dark, kind of, just when somebody gets you in the frequency of fear, to them it's like a praise.
Right.
That's what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now, like, we're growing past all this stuff. It feels cool to feel the difference.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
I said, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Beautiful, sister.
It feels like that I heard the words justice,
Mm-hmm.
legions of justice. Everything is they're pouring coins right back to where they belong.
Mm.
Yeah, they're pouring coins to where they belong. And people, I see them like watering the flowers. Watering is it's a symbolization of us being watered back again, like this is dry
Yes.
ground and we being watered. It's like we're being watered by the angels, by the light.
Mm-hmm.
We're being watered by the light.
Thank you.
Learning that our freedom is in the light and not the dark.
Mm.
Yes, I can feel it. It's the freedom in the light. More people are starting to feel empowered in the light. It's like different types of ascension.
Mm-hmm.
More people are unlocking, the chains are falling, more people are being liberated from this and starting to express themselves. And more people can lead by expressing themselves, not caring what people think.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we lead and how we teach people to lead themselves and lead others and teach other people how to lead themselves. And really supposed to teach people how to praise themselves and love themselves. A lot of leaders then wanted to be praised with different looks
Mm-hmm.
for different reasons. And now it's just different. It feels more free here. It feels like a long way to go. And it will evolve. I feel like
Beautiful.
there's an evolution of women and men, but the women are getting the evolution. They're gaining back their strength that they always had. One by one, each by each. Women are becoming more lighter. They'll become more lighter. They'll plant, they'll plant their seeds more wisely, is what I'm hearing.
Mm.
Women will plant their seeds more wisely, will weave more carefully on Gaia. They'll weave more carefully and positively.
Do they have any last messages before we call in your higher self?
They said women can do anything that they put their hearts into instead of their minds to put their hearts into it.
Mm.
Don't put your mind into it, put your heart in it. Break the patterns.
Yes.
We break the cycles. We are the ones that are going to break cycles. We are the ones that are with the power, the true power,
Right.
the true creative power. We're the ones that have the power to break cycles and patterns. We have this power.
Mm.
We are a force to be reckoned with.
Mm-hmm.
We are weavers, wisdom holders, basket weavers. We weave in baskets. And I'm seeing that women behind each other in a line braiding each other's hair. One by one in a line braiding each other's hair.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. This is like braiding each other's hair
Mm-hmm.
instead of cutting it.
Yes.